Let's do a genetics problem with inheritance of two traits. And one caveat here is that those two traits are located on separate chromosomes. The example is, in garden peas, purple flower color is dominant to white, and the allele for tall is dominant to short. Cross a plant that is homozygous recessive for flower color and heterozygous for height with a plant that is heterozygous for both traits. Write a phenotypic ratio for the offspring. The process that we're going to use here is the same as what we use when we are working with one trait. So I'm going to start by defining my notation. The question tells me that purple flower color is dominant. So I'm going to use a capital R to represent purple and a lowercase r to represent white. And I know that the allele for tall is dominant to the allele for short. So I'm going to use a capital T for tall and a little t for short. Okay, the next step is to write the genotypes of the parents. So we are told that our first parent is homozygous recessive for flower color. That means that the first parent is little r, and heterozygous for height. So we need one of each of our two alleles. That means we need a big T and a little t. And that plant is crossed with a plant that is heterozygous for both traits. So our other parent is big R, big T, little t. Okay, the next step is to figure out what type of gametes these parents can produce. The first parent is a little bit simpler. Remember that when we study meiosis, these alleles are located on chromosomes, and those chromosomes separate from each other by the end of meiosis. So if there is a little r on that chromosome, there is a little r straight across from it. If there is a big T on this chromosome, there's a little t across from it. So what we can see is that parent 1 is going to produce gametes that have a little r with a big T, or, I should say, and little r with a little t. Those are the two possible combinations. For the other parent, we have a big R and a little r, a big T and a little t. So two combinations are big R with a big T. Another combination is little r with little t. But remember that in meiosis, the way that the chromosomes are pulled is random. So it's possible that we could have had the little r end up on this side and the big R on that side, and that would give us two different combinations, so we have to account for all of these. So little r with a big T, and lastly big R with a little t. Whoops, T. Okay, now we can make our Punnett square. We know what types of gametes our parents can produce. So I'm going to put parent 1's gametes down the side, little r and big T, with little r and little t, and the other parent's gametes across the top. I know that my Punnett square is going to be 8 boxes. And I can fill them all in. When you fill in a Punnett square like this, where you have 4 letters, it's best to put the 2 R's together and the 2 T's together. And if there is a combination of a big letter with a small letter, the big letter gets written first. Okay. Those are all the possible genotypes of the offspring, but the question is asking us to write a phenotypic ratio of the offspring. So our last step is to count up all the possible phenotypes and tell how many there are. So up here we've got a big R with big T, so that's going to be a purple plant with a purple flowered tall plant. So let's see how many of those there are. There's 1, 2, 3. So 3 purple tall. Next I have little r, so white paired with big T, little t, so that's tall. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those. And I have 1 white short. And my last combination is purple short. So 1 purple short. And that's it.